As a disclaimer, Monster Fuckers Anonymous is indeed about wanting to love and have sex with monsters, but we want to make things extremely clear from the get-go. Not all of the chosen monsters will be sapient, but we will not be endorsing zoophilia or bestiality. We will be as transparent and ethical as possible, while also sex-positive and mostly having fun.
Vampires that stalk in the night, werewolves that howl to the moon, dragons that loom over the skies. These monsters and more have plagued mortals for millennia, clouding our minds with one singular thought.
Can we fuck 'em?
Fiction or reality, which one should we be? Don't think that I'm that naive to see the fiction or reality of things you've done to me. Now all this stupid shit is on repeat.
Hello, one and all, to another fantastic, wonderful, stupendous episode of MFA, aka Monster Fuckers Anonymous, a show where we talk about monsters, talk about lore, talk about the media representation, and rate them on a scale of 1 to 10, whether or not you. Is you celebrating Pride, wrapping up this month? You know, Pride's coming out, it's June, celebrate. If you straight listen to this show, send one gay person money right now, I swear to God, if you don't, whether or not you should be having sex with those monsters. I am your queer color consultant, Cleric, and with me, as always, is our homophobic technical analyst, Joe.
Not even alliterative. Wasn't even alliterative.
I couldn't think of one in time. All right, I'll be honest here, everybody. I'll be real. I couldn't think of one. Do you have one, Joe?
For homophobic or technical analyst?
Either one. You know what? They go hand in hand.
Homophobic horticulturalist. Horologist.
Horologist. Oh, there we go. There we go. Wow. Look at us. Hand in hand,
Look at us.
Joe. Look at us. Who would have thought? But Joe, how's your Pride going?
I'm fucking tired. I'm tired of being gay.
Oh, you know what? So is America. Anyways.
Okay.
Anyways, Joe, what do you want to talk about this Pride? We talked about Pokemon already. What are you feeling? What are you feeling right now?
I'm uninspired. Being gay is boring. Being gay does not have a rich history, in my opinion. It's not a complicated identity in America. You know, there really has been nothing exciting or like sexy or controversial about being gay. So I think I don't know. I think we need to outsource.
Yeah, you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to, honestly, do you want to just watch a movie or something? I'm just going to flick through the channels.
Yeah, let's watch a movie. Let's like see if we can find something nostalgic, maybe.
I'm just going to flip through the channels and, oh, wait a second. Who's on the TV? Is that our friend Amihan? What are you doing on our screen?
Hey, y'all. I'm here to break the fourth wall and inform you guys about how cool and fun it is to just curl up and watch your favorite childhood movies. Perhaps reflect on some that you haven't had a chance to think about in a while.
Wow, I love this PSA
How did you
special.
get in my TV? How did you get in this VHS?
How did you get in
I live
home?
here, actually. Sorry, I live here.
Shit.
How'd
I've been
you get
living here
to
this
our
whole
limbo
time.
space?
I am an omnipotent being that exists in all of your consciousness.
It's so true.
You know.
All right, true. So, I'm going to tell the people who you are, and why you're joining us today.
Yes, I'm Amihan, and I am an artist, performer, a doer of things, and I have the socially unacceptable obsession with animation version of autism, as opposed to the Nobel Peace Prize winning math autism that I wish I had, but I don't. So I'm here to discuss with everybody fictional characters from animated media or any media from childhood, but like
any movie, like we have a lot of nostalgic movies that we like to watch as a kid. So I think we all know it's like Queer Awakenings and shit like that. Where you're watching that, you're feeling something. So I think that's what we're talking about today. So why do you think people are attracted? Why do you think what happens? Why do you think people are attracted to these?
What happens to young, impressionable, pre-gay people?
As a young, impressionable pre-gay person, from the perspective of someone who has always wanted to be an animator or collect dolls. Gonna be real with you, anything that was on the screen from the ages of 3 to
now,
yes, has had a severe impact on
terminal.
Yes, I've just been so very mentally ill about a lot of characters since childhood. It's all in the eyebrows, honestly.
I want to listen. I'll talk about this. I will talk about this. Anytime that an animator puts eyebrows on anything, suddenly it can be personified and it can be sexy. I've talked about this extensively. There is one character in particular that I believe about this, and everyone fucking shames me about it. But I'm going to be very honest here. You put eyebrows on Spirit the horse, that horse is sexy.
Oh my god! Thank you for saying.
I'm saying it.
Yeah.
Thank you. Legitimately, yes. That Matt Damon horse. But also like Kovu from The Lion King, a bunch of like a lot of the personified, I guess, animals from the Disney Renaissance we grew up with, like, you know. But yeah, I know that the way that they like chose to like stylize and give personalities to non-human, I would say creatures, monsters. I'm not sure because like, you know, animals kind of toe the line of furry. Is like y'all consider furries monsters or
there's a lot of crossover TBH.
Okay.
So like,
to know.
Yeah,
you know, however you like.
Yeah. We as a show have discussed that we did bring them up. There are animals we're not going to talk about on the show that does not count. Like Kovu and Spirit will not be discussed on the show in any form of the way on the Papo scale. Besides a quick joke. That's also for our audience to know. We're not going to be talking about those guys on the show. There's not going to be a Kung Fu Panda episode. It's not happening.
Oh my fucking Christ.
However, speaking of Kung Fu Panda, I do have a DreamWorks character to bring.
I also have a DreamWorks character.
Oh,
I did not bring a DreamWorks character, but
what the fuck is wrong with you?
That wasn't the theme. That was not the theme today. All right, everybody.
It wasn't.
Oh, we fucking back off. All right,
you're right.
The theme today was animated queer awakenings. It wasn't even that. It was just animated animated villains. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. So I've brought an animated villain, Joe has brought one, and Amihan has brought one to the table. So the three of us are going to rank our three that we've brought to see which one of us has brought the sexiest monster villain to bring. Some will be sexy, some will be downright devious, but we need to know which one of us is the best. And that's the point of the show, is to prove who's better and not collaborate, just like the gay agenda.
Yeah, just like rainbow capitalism.
We're rainbow capitalists, and that's all we are.
100%. Give us
cut that bit.
Your money.
Cut that bit. Cut that bit.
No, it was good. Keep it.
All right, Joe, are you ready to start?
Yeah, I would love to.
Then start.
Oh, right now? Okay.
Yeah, right now. I'm telling you to start right now.
All right. Here we go. All right. Eris is not only the name of the notable Greek goddess of chaos, but Sinbad's seductive and devious main antagonist. With a mermaid-like appearance and aquatic motifs, the goddess controls armies of sea monsters to shipwreck boats full of treasure. Despite her omnipotent powers, her responsibilities only involve chaos in its purest form, disorderly and unmitigated. Her deals are in pirate promises, dripping with poisonous honey.
She gets me dripping, if you know what I'm saying.
She gets my fucking fish.
You know, I would open the Book of Peace for her any day.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
I would steal the Book of Peace. And I don't know, I would let her ruin my life. Have you ever watched a woman in a bath, in like a beautiful like dream bubble bath where you are a tiny little man and it's just her, even though she's like the one like naked and like seemingly vulnerable and you're like fully clothed or whatever, you are still so much smaller than she is, and she is larger than anything you've ever even fathomed.
Right.
My brain unlocked a second brain. You know what I mean?
Yes. Her and like the fact that she like had these little cosmic pets. I don't know. And like she was just conniving in the little tub going, oh,
she's Michelle Pfeiffer.
Yes. She's Michelle Pfeiffer.
So,
anything Michelle Pfeiffer has done, I don't know.
I don't have dreams. I don't have moments like that.
You don't have dreams?
I don't actually. That's a real thing that I don't have. That's not a joke. This is not a joke. This is not a bit. I don't dream.
I only have nightmares. So what happened?
Well, I have okay. This could be a side tangent that will or won't be included. I have the thing called maladaptive daydreaming. So most of my waking day is daydreaming and zoning out. So when I go to bed, I kind of just like knock, and if I do dream, I don't remember it, or it's very brief and like some weird thing. But either way, I don't.
There's a Korean concept called a black dream, which is essentially that you didn't have like an active brain, basically, like during your sleep. It was just like a basically what you said. Yeah. But it doesn't take account for maladaptive daydreaming.
While I do not dream, if Eris popped up in mine, I think I would act up. 100%. Opening the Book of Peace, more like opening my legs. You know what I'm saying?
I would start believing in God, Satan, Cthulhu, whatever she needed. Cletus.
So how much of a
man named Cletus?
So how much of the plot do you remember? Because what can you tell us about Eris? Like basically the plot wise, what she did?
Bro, I don't remember a goddamn thing about Sinbad.
All right, God fucking damn it! All right,
listen.
No, okay, but I do know that she is like, "Hey, Sinbad, steal this book from me, you piece of shit." And he's like, "Yeah, okay." And then like he gets emotionally attached to something throughout the journey, and then he tricks her. And then she's like, "You're right." And then she fucks off too. She's like, "You got me. You pranked me."
All right, I can explain. I can explain. All right, I could. This is a whole fucking segue for you to talk about. I could explain the plot for those of you who don't know the plot of fucking Sinbad.
Yes,
I can do
the
this.
plot of Sinbad.
So Sinbad owes Eris something. I think she made a deal with her, and he was kind of just like, you own me. So his deal, in order to guarantee ultimate power, because he's like, if you do this for me, I will give you ultimate power. You can be like the freest man in the sea, blah, 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 this and the third, is to close the Book of Peace in this city. I forget the name of it. But in this city is somebody he considers a brother. Like they grew up together. And so he's the prince. And so he originally, even Sinbad gives up on doing that. He gives up on like, I'm not going to do the book. I'm not going to do him dirty like that. Eris then disguises herself as Sinbad and kills a bunch of guards and then closes and takes the book. So she has the book the entire time. She disappears, goes. Sinbad is framed as going to be executed the day of. The prince then takes his place because he believes Sinbad's like, I know you, like I didn't do it, and he's like, you know what, you're my bro, I believe you. Go get the book back from Eris, or I'm gonna get executed. And so the prince is going to go. So the prince is waiting for his execution. I think he has like a week or a couple days. So he fucks up. So Sinbad and his crew go fuck off to go find Eris. Eris is trying to stop them, sends out little like her cosmic pets that she has before to try to stop them from going over to the edge of the world, which is what he has to do. Who joins him is, it is a flat earth conspiracy right there. Who joins her is the prince's fiance. She joins, which is Salma Hayek, I believe.
There's a woman.
Yeah,
there's another woman.
Yes, she is the prince's original fiance who he was going to marry. She joined Sinbad to make sure that he goes on this trip. In the trip, they bond, they end up falling in love, blah, blah, blah.
Damn.
Speed it up. Sinbad almost fucks up, like almost really fucks up. And the prince is on the execution block. Like his head is there. The axe is coming up. And then Sinbad appears with the book. And that's when he said he tricks Eris. Eris admits to stealing it. And in front of everybody.
Yes.
But Eris isn't defeated. I want to make this very clear. She doesn't lose.
No.
She gets tricked and admits everything, but she's like, all right, I'll just wait. You're gonna die eventually. Everyone's gonna move on, and then I'll just do this again. So suck my dick, bye, and fucks off. She doesn't. This isn't a loss for her. This is just I killed time.
The power move of all power moves, just like a villain. Like everyone you're like rooting for in Sinbad. Like it's obviously not the Scheherazade's like actual story. But Michelle Pfeiffer. Michelle Pfeiffer.
Michelle Pussyfoot.
Michelle.
What?
So what I like Eris hits a lot of kinks that I think a lot of queer awakenings that we could all talk about. I don't know
Exactly. Micro macro.
I was about to say
That's the most obvious one.
I'm not joking.
I wasn't.
She can grow and she can shrink and she can take you underwater. She can
make you breathe underwater. She's Jesus Christ.
Oh, I remember. She saved Sinbad's life. Sinbad ended up she sent she sent one of her cosmic beings to one of her pets to capsize the ship. The ship goes down. He saves Sinbad, and under the guise of saving her says, with your life, get me the book. And then backs out on the deal, blah blah blah, this and the third. I
did that, but do this for me.
But I will say, listen, Micro Macro, she's taking you, putting her right up your you can censor that. Kaz, please do censor that. Censor that. I want you to bleep that out. Yeah, bleep
right
that.
On her.
Yeah, just bleep that one out, please.
Oh God. Yeah, I mean, there's literally nothing else to say. I think there's
a lot to say. Hold on, pause. Let's comment.
No, I don't think that there's nothing else to say. This lady fucking changed my brain chemistry for the worse.
So I'm going to list off some things that she could do, and then I'm going to also describe her if we meet her, and how I think it would go, and you can tell me how y'all feel about this. How does that sound?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So we already got Micro Macro, if you're into that, which I am. So big tall woman, you got me. Done. Dami Mommy, she for sure is a Dami Mommy. There's no if and or about it. She's not subbing you at all. If you are a Dom person, congrats, you're subbing now. It ain't happening. 3, she definitely is exhibitionist, nudist. She don't wear clothes. Clothes optional.
So true.
Yeah. I mean, she can clearly shapeshift. So no.
That goes into my 4th one. She's definitely into BDSM. She got him all wrapped up. She can do all these illusionary plays. She is a dominatrix. She is. You are 100%. Just pet play in a box waiting for her.
Yes. Yeah. She enjoys it though. She enjoys treating everybody like toys.
She loves pets. Yeah.
Yes.
Pet play. Yep.
Yeah.
So that's all within the realm. So allow me to craft a character for you all. If we were to meet Eris in the real world, how it'd be. Listen, you're online. You're actually, no, I would say none of that. Let me rephrase this. You're in a club, right? Dancing, having a good time, chilling. You got a tap on your shoulder by some random dude. You're like, yo, what's up? He's like all in a suit. He hands you a note. The note says, come upstairs to the VIP. And you look up and you look at the VIP section. There's this woman in like a sheen dress, barely, just leaving nothing to the imagination, but leaving everything to be desired. And she's just sitting there on a chair, on a couch, just look, and she makes eye contact with you. And you could see, like, you know, those like in like shows where like all you see, like their face is covered in shadow except for their mouth, and their mouth just like you see a smile appears. That's what you see. And there's something just alluring about it that like you have to
literally. And then you're like, I don't want to go fucking talk to a fucking creep. What are you fucking talking about? But then you look at her, and then you're like, I see.
Exactly. Each step you're going up there, you're getting more. There's like an anticipation building. Like you don't even know, because instead of like where this is a very loud club, it's actually getting quieter, and it gets quieter and quieter as you step up each of the stairs. And suddenly she's there, spread on a couch. There's somebody motherfucking feeding her grapes. You don't know who. You can't see anybody else. There's only her, but you know there's people there waiting on her hand and foot. And she says to you, and she just hits you with a hi there, and like you have to like, immediately you're like, oh, and you have to like,
if that's Michelle Pfeiffer,
you gotta fall on your knees.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah, literally.
And then there's like this dynamic of this powerful person who you don't know where she gets her money from. You don't know how rich she is. You don't know.
I don't need to know.
She sends you a text from now on. You have a wild night where she fucking chains you up, hits you up, does this, that, and the third. Anytime she texts you, like, come here, you're sprinting. You have to sprint over. Drop what you're doing. If you're in the middle of your job, you have to, she says, send me something. Send me a picture. You have to. It's like that kind of dynamic, which is toxic. It could be a little bit toxic in a bit, but
no,
also
it's absolutely toxic.
Yeah, it is toxic.
If you're aware of those boundaries and are comfortable with that, that's who she is. She is
right. There is something I think also just to be said. I guess at the top of the animated movie Awakenings and such, I feel like there is something to be said about how sometimes your introduction to certain, like, not necessarily queer coded intentionally from the beginning, but the characters that are more assertive or forceful in their personality also sort of have, like, there is a toxic element of, like, I know what I want and I'm going to take it. And then obviously when you handhold that with villains, it just creates this wonderful breeding ground, using that term in more as a double entendre, triple, quadruple entendre.
I'm trying to get breeding in the ground. You know what I'm saying?
I'm trying to get, I want her to lay eggs in me.
Right?
She doesn't do that. She doesn't do that.
Well, maybe she could. Maybe she could. She could breed you. You know, she could breed any of it.
Exactly.
Who trying to? What do you think?
Eris definitely, like, I mean, along with all the other, like, villains that, you know, I've seen in animation, Eris, like, definitely had that powerful, like, presence about her. Like, an all-powerful goddess and you know, chaotic. I am a very big fan of how she was like, I'm going to pursue this mortal to have fun. And then, like, she made a deal, right? I mean, of course, she, like, tricked him, but, like, she made a deal, and she is one to, like, clearly, she, like, if she makes, like, she made a promise where she, like, marked herself.
Yeah,
like,
oh my
herself.
Fucking God.
She cut herself to make a promise to Sinbad, and then she kept that
across
promise.
her heart.
Yes, exactly. She crossed her heart. And I think that adds an extra layer. Like, I mean, obviously she's like Eris, the goddess of chaos, but like that, you kind of understand that, like, whenever she does do these things and has dealings with mortals, even with this very obvious power dynamic here, she will, if you make a promise, if you guys make a mutual promise and come to an agreement, she will keep her end of the deal up, which I think is kind of, it makes it more like, if Eris actually came here and made a deal with me, I feel like maybe I would play around with that power dynamic despite its toxicity, because there's an element of a deal here.
I feel like in this perhaps day and age, or maybe just within the people in this call right now, we could probably finagle it better than Sinbad did.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah.
Well, Sinbad was a terrible person, though, like, at the beginning of the movie. And I'm not sure, again, like, I'm not sure if Eris, like, Eris's motivation in using Sinbad was that he was a terrible person. He was close with the guy who had the Book of Peace, the prince. And, you know, it was easy for... she thought it was easy pickings, right? So, you know. Sinbad had other goals.
Change.
What?
People don't change.
People don't change.
People
but he
don't
did.
Change. Yes.
But he did.
So we with all this in mind, with this scenario now in play, how we are dynamics with Eris and all the little kinks that could come with it, let's jump into the Papa scale and how we think she ranks up. Starting with possibility, how possible it is to be with said monster or said creature. I'm going to say I'm leaning towards the more possible. The reason being,
it's high.
She interacts actively with the world around her. She interferes actively. Whether or not you have something she desires, that's the question there. But she can manipulate a situation so you can have something she desires. I'm going to put this at a 7. I think this is pretty possible.
Yeah.
I think go higher.
I think I do. Okay. I mean, for me personally, I would probably put the possibility as like an 8 or a 9 even. Only like, I mean, maybe it depends on the kind of person you are. If you have, perhaps it depends on what you're doing, if it interests her, right? But I think it's very possible. 8.5.
Okay. That's very doable.
Yeah.
I'm going 9 because there is something to be said. We're not pirates. We're not Sinbad. We're not like literally, we're not, actively near an ocean at all times. But the thing about chaos, purely unmitigated, it doesn't matter where you are in your life. If something horrific wants to happen to you because it's her opinion that it should happen to you, then it shall. The couple of things that veers off of that perfect score is, at that point, it would just kind of have to happen, rather either in like an individual sense with Eris, or she comes at people all at once in like waves of doppelgangers or something. I don't know.
You know what? Yeah, I'll just with that, I'll bring my score up to an 8.5 as well. I think that's very fair.
Got him. We got him.
Now attractiveness. How attractive
10.
Eris is.
Absolutely 10. 100% 10.
Eris
couldn't even let me fucking
Eris was
finish
life changing. Eris is life changing. Shut the fuck up, Eris.
She shaped thousands of people's perceptions of what it she
what
is.
it means to be gay. Yeah,
Yes.
10. Yeah, I'm not just gonna sit here in front. I'm not gonna sit here and pretend.
They put
It's a
their
10.
those men, presumably men, I don't know who designed Eris, put their whole pussies into her design.
James Baxter.
James Baxter, you were ovulating, making the design.
Your eggs were fucking
For Eris.
thumping during this, huh? Fucking ovaries, wow.
Vibrating, pulsing.
Anyways, audacity.
Okay, so this is where things start to turn around. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because
how audacious is it to be with the chaos goddess?
The pure force, like this is the personification of chaos. And she gave Sinbad her fucking time. Like, Sinbad even taking it on and was just like, yeah, sure, it'll be easy, whatever. Or like, it would, maybe this will be complicated, but like, I'll still be able to take it on because I'm a fucking confident, self-important man or whatever. Insane behavior. I would do it. But also, should you? No.
Okay. So what is your score here?
I'm still thinking.
I'm going to give this a 3.
That feels right.
This is,
good.
This is still a god. This is still not something that any one of us as normal people should be able to do. But as she allows some cheekiness, she allows some talking back to, and that she will find you, I think, and you can go, and if you are truly audacious to the extreme, you can find her realm. You can go off the edge of the earth.
Yeah. Because
Sinbad fucking did it. So who am I to argue here? I think this is a 3. I'd
probably go a little bit higher, only like at a 4, but only because I feel like she is a goddess. I mean, of course, if you have the audacity, if you dare to like pursue Eris or like work with her, even you could feasibly. I mean, I don't know. He caught Eris slipping a little bit. So like knowing this information, like perhaps it wouldn't be like difficult as long as you did dare to do this. But I think that like at the same time, I'm not sure if Eris would over the years become seasoned to the dealings of mortals. There's always that like questionable like what's going to happen next. And I think the thrill of that specifically is like makes it a little bit higher for me at 4. But yeah, that's my score.
I'm gonna go with the 3 in this case, just because I'm lazy.
So true.
Okay, wonderful. Finally, we have parental approval. Would our Christian immigrant parents, if we brought Eris home, or if Eris came to our home, better yet, would they approve of her? I'm going to say they would, because she is a trickster. She would lie to my parents. She'd gaslight. Because she'd gaslight the shit out of my parents, and she'd trick them.
She'd show up as a completely different person, just dressed up and like just like, oh yes, I'm a devout Christian.
Dressed in the exact form my parents would approve of. So I don't think I would give this a 9. Better yet, I'd give this a second 10. I think she would just fucking gaslight the shit out of my parents and win.
Yeah, like I think the only thing is that she does have pride, so I think there are moments where her facade would have to crack a little bit. And also, I don't know, there's something about, I think her conniving nature might shine through a lot more than, even if she was like in a maybe more demure sort of form, whatever that means. It's still good. And I'm going to give her a 9. but it is treading the most careful 9 ever.
I'm gonna agree with you both. I think the way that Eris operates is going to make it very easy for parents to approve. I mean, if she connives enough, I think she's gonna make sure that like it's her way. It goes her way. So yeah, I think I'd agree with that. I'll give it a 10 actually.
Incredible.
Yeah. I don't know. If it's her way, she'll make it happen. She'll try to anyway.
We'll see.
Let's do this math, add it together, and go through our first queer awakening and see how Eris stacks up against our big... Shut the fuck
together.
up. I'm doing a fucking segue, Joe.
I'm doing a fucking
segue. I'm fucking walking here. I'm doing a segue. I'm going...
Hello and welcome to the Mid-Roll. I'm Kez, I'm your editor. Happy Pride Month, everyone. I hope you're having a good time. Just ignore the world exploding around you and listen to us talk about fucking monsters. I'm here to give some thanks to the people who have been supporting us over on Ko-fi and to tell you where you can find us outside of the podcast. First of all, thank you to Gwendolyn, Amelia G, Chris Chan J, Daydori, and Akima. Those lucky few can listen to the outtakes for this episode and all previous episodes by heading to our Ko-fi and taking a look at the backlog. Memberships start out at about $3 a month, but that's only if you really want to, There are other ways to support us. You can rate us on Spotify or go down to Apple Podcasts and leave us a review. And you can also follow us on Twitter at MonsterLoverPod. I should have told you what our Ko-fi is as well. Our Ko-fi is MonsterLoverPod as well. You can find us basically everywhere under that name. To get back on track, our Ko-fi members can listen to the outtakes for this episode, as well as read the scores for all the monsters from this episode and previous episodes. It's a great deal. But more than that, we just like hearing from you. If you've been enjoying the show, if there's anything we could improve, we probably won't listen to the last bit, but it's nice to know. Anyway, that's all from me. I've been talking long enough. Enjoy the rest of the episode.
And you disrespecting me during my fucking segue is just, I don't know if this dynamic could really work because I'm just trying to talk. I'm trying to go through a whole process.
Imagine I'm smoking a cigarette right in front of your eyes, your mouth, your nose.
Rude. Anyway, what's the math?
So the math, cleric Eris of Sinbad and the seven seas from the Sinbad movie. Cleric, you got a 7.9. I got a 7.8, and Amihan got a beautiful 8.1, which leaves Eris with a very sizable 7.9 right off the top of the ep.
Let's go. All right.
Hey.
I'm happy with these higher scores we're getting now that we've done away with the 110 rule.
The 110 was pretty funny though.
It was. And she deserves to be up there as a queer awakening for many baby gays. I think she deserves to have a high score in our books. With that, the erotic Eris is done and over with. Amihan, how are you feeling? You ready to jump in and tell us your pick?
Absolutely. Yeah. I think I'm ready.
Okay, so
I think I'm ready.
Who do you got? Who you bring to the table? There's so many options. There's so many beautiful animated creatures.
Absolutely.
Conventionally attractive.
Yes, like Diego from Ice Age and Gil from Finding Nemo. Okay. No.
I need to see some old man yaoi of those two together. Thank you so much.
Oh, absolutely. No, but today, the childhood awakening I have brought you is Megamind.
Whose childhood is that? Whose childhood?
The protagonist of his own criminally underrated 2010 CGI animated DreamWorks film, Megamind is a self-proclaimed evil alien genius with a very large head. His skin is baby blue with accents of pink along his cheeks, bright lime green eyes, and a thin black goatee lining his chin. Megamind enjoys parading around in a black skin-tight leather suit that accents his very slim frame, making it a point to highlight his matching boots, spiked gloves, and high-collared black cape with sharp shoulder pads. After a lifetime of believing that he was unworthy of friendship and compassion, Megamind discovers that being the monster society thought him to be did not bring him the happiness he truly desired, and discovers that the capability to change for the better was within him all along.
I have a lot of questions.
I'm so curious about this.
You have questions? Yeah. So bring me all the questions. I'm prepared to answer them.
So what I want you to do, for me personally, I
Will
want you
Ferrell?
to break...
Owen Wilson?
Wait, it was Will Ferrell. I
Ferrell.
don't care about Will Ferrell or Tina. Tina Fey was in this movie too. It's terrible. Honestly, the casting in this movie.
For those who are not aware, which is all of you, Kes just showed us a mug of Will Ferrell and Elf that she is actively putting her mouth on.
We're talking about this in the quarterly meeting. We're talking
Something
about this.
tells me Kes and Amihan had the same pick.
Damn. All right.
I'm sorry. So what I want you to describe for me and just go into details with is, why do you think Megamind is sexy? And spare no detail.
I was no
also,
detail at all.
Do you think big bald forehead, big forehead and bald head?
Bald. Honestly, this would be the third bald character that one of three bald characters that I have an attachment to.
And name the other two?
Isaac from Castlevania.
Yes, that's fair.
Honestly,
King
fair.
Neptune from SpongeBob.
No, unfortunately, Solus from Dragon Age. So
I get it.
He's the worst one.
Yeah, no, it's all right. Roast me, but we'll talk about Dragon Age another day, I'm sure.
Cassandra's right there. Yeah, you go.
Oh,
not a monster.
Iron Bull. But I honestly, this would almost be embarrassing, but it's not, because I tend to love characters like Megamind that have a depth of emotional complexity to them. Like, this movie definitely bombed at the box office because it came out between Despicable Me and Tangled. Nobody was seeing that shit.
Damn, yeah, that's true. Huh?
Yeah. And people were all about Gru and the Minions, and then, of course,
Steve Carell.
The other comedian. But yeah, I mean, truthfully, what drew me to Megamind is not like their appearance. It's not just their appearance. I don't know. I guess I don't think I have a type, I suppose. I just think it's just the fact that Megamind ends up respecting people.
Is he an alien?
Yes.
What is Megamind?
He's to explain a little bit about the story, I guess, like his story, the Megamind is like a remix on the whole Superman story. It's like, hey, what if Superman didn't care? You know? And Megamind isn't Superman, it's this other guy named Metro Man. And Megamind and Metro Man, they're both of their home planets were being sucked into a black hole at the beginning of the movie, and they were coincidentally...
Are they from the same place?
Not the same planet, but the same galaxy. Both of their planets were being sucked in by a black hole. So they were coincidentally launched into these escape pods that went straight for Earth, both of them. And like Metro Man knocked Megamind off course, and Megamind landed in a prison, while Metro Man landed in Metro Man, who looks like the alien equivalent of a white human man, lands in the home of this wealthy white married couple. So
privilege.
Yes, exactly. So
as babies or full-grown adults?
As babies. They were babies. It's like...
Why was Mega Man baby in prison jail?
Well, because he was ugly and he wasn't the right color.
Okay.
Cut that. I'm so sorry. Cut that. Actually, I need to restart. You can go from where Joe goes. We're just gonna cut that part. Straight up, we're just gonna cut that part.
Leave it.
No, just cut it. We're just gonna pick up right here. Just explain what you were gonna explain, Amihan. Just cut that part. I'm so sorry. Just cut that part.
I was,
why baby in jail teach inmate? Why do they keep baby in jail?
I don't know. It's like whatever. It's like this level of absurdity in the movie. It's like present throughout the whole film, and it doesn't take itself super seriously, which I kind of appreciate. But
what was he being taught?
he was being taught that cops are bad and doing crime is good, which I agree. You know, hell yeah, ACAB. But like,
hell yeah.
Obviously the movie sets this up as a way to show that Megamind was taught to be evil.
Okay.
And yeah, so I mean, throughout his childhood, he goes to school still, and he's constantly seeking the approval of his peers, but he's rejected because since he's a genius, he has a big head. He's always had this big head.
This is like Meet the Robinsons, but like a Will Ferrell.
This is nothing like Meet the Robinsons, and this is what?
But do you know what I mean, though?
A child genius getting rejected by
huge heads.
Yes.
Those are the only two similarities. Keep going. I'm sorry.
But yes, he was also blue, and his classmates were xenophobic. There's an element of xenophobia to it. But like in the end, Megamind never actually wanted to be evil until society told him that he wanted to be evil.
Right.
And he thinks that being a villain is the only thing he's good at because it was the only thing like he was allowed to do. This was the only way he actually got validation because people thought he was bad.
Megamind is a metaphor or an allegory for classism, for nature versus nurture, for the dangers of xenophobia.
Get Noam Chomsky on this.
For privilege.
Yeah, and yes. And I think one of the most powerful elements of this is like Megamind's exploration of his own identity and the story of destiny versus choice. He struggles with letting him decide his own destiny versus performing for society, which is it's like something I love exploring in stories and media in general.
Now, Amihan, is this deep sentimentality for Megamind, did this then translate into Megamind Yaoi?
Megamind Yaoi.
Where the fuck did that come from?
Where did the psychosexualization of his story come in?
Right. So there was this interesting like dynamic between him and Metro Man, right? They had this rivalry the whole time, and he lost his purpose when Metro Man decided to be like, you know what? I don't want to be a hero anymore. I don't want to be in this battle with you.
What?
Yes. And Megamind, he got so depressed, like genuinely, he was like, I don't have a purpose anymore. And he eventually finds new purpose after like going in disguise as a human and meeting this reporter named Roxanne Ritchie.
Another big-headed lady?
Yes, the big-headed like lady. She had a huge ass. I'm sorry. It's
huge ass.
She was thick. She was. They made her thick.
Shaped like a Matryoshka doll.
Right. And so they kind of, I don't know, at the end there's like definitely a possibility that like there was a polycule element to this. Like, and I know like it's mostly just kind of projection here at this point, but like, there's that. Also, like he has a minion I haven't talked about yet. That he is like, he got sent with, he got as a pet, I guess, or a minion when he was ejected from the escape pod. He grows up with him, and he is his like one friend throughout the entirety of his life and like life partner at this point. And so there's an element of like an interesting family like polycule dynamic that happens. It's like not spoken outwardly, but it's very clearly this sort of like, I don't know. There's levels of love and affection that happen between all these characters that like changed me.
Another theme of slight toxicity of like a codependent relationship dynamic that is very interesting.
So things I want to bring up listening to all these things that have been said here. One is Amihan like sad, pathetic boys who have no redeeming qualities to them, because Megamind does not have had non-redeeming qualities there when the movie began.
You're predicting.
I'm not though. Two, it's the dangers of an incel, because he did try to create a hero. We saw that. What happens?
Right.
And
The Incredibles.
He created an incel, or helped create, and it helped to power up an incel. Let me rephrase that. And then two, three, we don't have to imagine kind of what he would be like in a relationship, because there is a love that blossoms in the movie. We see a love between Megamind and Metramind and Roxanne, and we see how he he's this, he's funny.
How does he treat her?
He treats her pretty well. They go on cute dates. He's pathetic, and so she has to again like dom him a little bit, or like very much take charge of the relationship. But he has this sweetness to him that he's trying, like he tries to be sweet in a pathetic little disgusting man boy way.
Oh my god.
Absolutely. Yes. Like, and that was that's another thing. Like his dynamic with Roxanne is like, oh, me, Amihan, I wanted to be Roxanne and push around this guy, and that's I mean, there's like the level of genuity that Megamind had. Like he was actively changing for the better. He was cleaning up the city and cleaning up his act because he cared so much for Roxanne. And so, and even when Roxanne was like, hey, I don't like that you were Megamind and that you were...
There it is. Not just me anymore. Not just me.
I don't like that, like, you were pretending to be this human the whole time because you did all these terrible things. And, like, he actually respects her decision to, like, leave him because she's justified, right?
And he goes to wallow in sadness, but the only reason he intervened is because Incel Boy comes around and starts starts fucking everything up.
He killed the Queen of England. Sorry.
There is no Easter Bunny and there is no Queen of England.
He's also a part of this. God.
Yes. Yeah. He was like an ordinary guy like TM who was like a creepy entitled stalker.
What's with the gingers? Just like The Incredibles.
Yeah. Their fixation with that.
What was his name?
Syndrome.
I was going to say Sinbad. That's not correct.
His name is Syndrome.
Syndrome. Right.
He less of an incel and more of a toxic fanboy.
What's the difference?
Yeah.
Oh, got me there.
I mean, there's overlap, but I think like Syndrome's issue wasn't that he was in love with Mr. Incredible. Hal was in love. I mean, maybe. I don't know. It's up to fan interpretation, perhaps.
I don't think he wasn't in love with Mr. Incredible. He was in love with the idea of superheroes.
The idea,
and then once that idea was not up to his classic standards.
Not being mediocre, kind of like, since that was...
Once everyone is super, nobody will be.
Yes. And Hal was like in love with the idea of Roxanne Ritchie. Like, he just felt like he deserved her after... Like she was a news reporter and he was her cameraman, and so he treated her like
got it. Okay.
Yeah, he was
creepy.
Fully a
he was
creep.
Weird.
Yeah.
So let's get off him and go back to Megamind here.
Will Ferrell.
We're not talking about Will Ferrell is a monster in a different way. A monster in acting before anyone gets fucking assumptions here. But he, like, talking about Megamind, let's talk about how he'd be. Like, we already see how he's in a relationship. He's like I said, he's a little pathetic man baby boy. But he also is somebody who'd bring like tools into the bedroom and then he'd be like, hey, use them on me.
Go gadget.
Yes.
CBT.
A master inventor. He'd have the whole table out, be like, experiment on me,
He'd bring out the mech and be like, do you want to use this?
Artificer.
An artificer of dildos. And he would use that for himself. So if you want a pathetic little man boy, this is it. Speaking of pathetic little man boy, the Papo scale.
Megamind has a pussy. I'm calling it.
Oh no, I agree. Trans rights.
All right then.
Do you have a problem with Cleric, with trans rights?
No, I have a problem with you assuming this character who was forced into the prison industrial complex
has a pussy.
I don't want to get into this right now.
Okay. Anyway, how accessible is Megamind? How do you get to him?
He's not really. He's the last of his kind, fall down to Earth. He operates on one planet, on one city. One city, one separate.
Right.
What makes this a little bit higher than maybe a 2 is that he wants to actively fuck. So raises up the possibility of a scale there to a 4, at least for me.
Yeah.
I would agree with that 4, actually. I he's in this one city, in this one place, but like Megamind is clearly down to fuck. There's going to be a series that comes out. It was just announced in 2024 where he's gonna like try to be a superhero for the world. So that's
a man's going international. All right.
Yeah 4.
We can go higher.
You?
This is a 6, I think.
Oh, a 6.
I can get a plane ticket.
You know what? Very
run.
fair.
I can swim. I can't actually swim. that well.
Oh, the internet exists too. Like now, yes. Like I could like the plot of this new series. Sorry, I'm info dumping y'all. The plot of this new series is that Megamind is an influencer. And
that's so cute.
And so he's an influencer and he's trying to become a superhero. And so I feel like with that in mind, maybe that is probably even more possible, though. Like, of course, getting easy access to an influencer is like dependent upon things. But knowing that,
Cleric, that's your shit.
I'm sorry, what was that?
That's your shit.
What is my shit?
You're not listening to Amihan speak?
I do. I did.
Once upon a time.
before this recording.
Before this recording.
But yeah, I truthfully, I think with that in mind, because like I didn't think about that, I think I would bump mine up to like a 5 as well.
Attractiveness. Megamind's cute.
Yeah.
No.
He's got like a leather situation.
Yeah, I like, if I'm being completely honest here, like his physical attractiveness, he is so like average. I'd say 6 in the way that like I think he is cute, but
I'm
I also
6.
But I also know that like the majority of the appeal for him is just like also in personality. I'm not even sure if we're like rating that. So
he's, like I said, he's pathetic. If you like your men pathetic and frail, and you can boss them around, take care of them. This is like, okay, I will say in the bad light, this is somebody you have to teach. This is like the partner you have to teach everything to. Like, here's how you wash your hands. This is how you do laundry. I don't know if you've ever done that before. This is how you put a bed sheet on. Because I know Megamind don't got a bed sheet. I know he doesn't.
Okay.
How to clean. I know you've made your fish man butler best friend do all the cooking and cleaning, but we're going to learn when you come over that you can't just drop your underwear in the middle of the room.
Right.
So I don't find that attractive that much. And while I can see him being cute, I'm gonna give this a 3. I'm not that attracted to Megamind.
Sure.
That's fair.
Yeah. I want to make the argument that like the fact that he has like an element of fashion sense and he likes putting effort into his appearance, that he at least has good hygiene. And I think he's goofy as fuck and also has a level of autistic appeal that balances. Like, I feel like he's capable of getting better because he's committed to, he has shown that he's committed to changing and getting better. But yeah, I'll stay at a 6.
Okie dokie. Audacity.
This is pretty audacious. This man's a villain. This man has straight up terrorized the city.
You can be a villain in profession and not be like horribly inapproachable.
This is okay. Let me rephrase this. If this is pre-Metro Man or pre-Metro Man's death,
right?
Ain't no way. He has his determination. Did you not?
I didn't watch this movie. I don't. It's totally fine. No, it's totally fine. But that is so funny to me for some reason. Like, what?
Yeah, Metro Man faked his death to get out of. Do I know what he did? He faked his death in order to get out of being a superhero because he had he had a class consciousness problem, which is that he was so rich that he never had any other options, that he was forced into life. So he was like,
he never paid taxes.
I was like, I'd never had the opportunity to do what poor people do. So now I'm going to explore the world and play music,
bruh,
like the poors do. And just like
exactly.
And Megamind has to be like, I was in fucking jail.
I was a baby in jail.
And everyone called me a villain.
I learned how to make a shank from a potato chip bag.
Basically, and Metro Man was like, that's okay, little buddy. It's like, don't call me little buddy. First of all, no, what? It's like, it's okay, little buddy. Now it's your time to shine. It's like, okay, I'm glad you've basically, if I had not created a villain, what the fuck was I supposed to do here? Just exist? Everyone still hates me, Metro Man. What does that change? And Metro Man's like, I don't know. Here's my song. Here's my Brad Pitt song.
Yeah, he's like, I don't know. I don't fucking care about you or the citizens, but listen to my music.
Basically. So that is basically what happened.
Yeah.
I just realized what it means to be a performer with no self-awareness or perception of what their art means to them versus making an impact as an artist.
Exactly.
Anyway. I don't think it's audacious though. Do you have an idea, Cleric, that I can formulate my answer off of?
I would say this is pretty audacious. The reason being that it's like, again, like I said, this is a villain. This is pre-Metro Man's death. This is a villain. This is somebody who would like murder people, or not really murder, but would do bank heists, and was only really focused on Roxy and ruining Metro Man's life. So he really didn't care about the civilians around. Like he interacted with some people, but he mostly did his own stuff. Post, he's in a relationship and committed. He's kind of chilling. I think this is a 3.
Averaged.
Yeah, I think the audacity of that is
from
a villain,
what
a
I'm
hero.
From what I'm getting, Gru from Despicable Me is more audacious than Megamind.
I agree.
No, he's not. Don't. He's a committed. He goes to malls. Gru goes and hangs out at fucking malls and has kids and is a single father.
Just because,
you know, I mean, but like, okay,
single fathers do that, and they're actually villains.
When did I say that? When was that?
I said that. That's what I'm saying.
No.
Anyway, Amihan, what's up?
I love this debate. I mean, like, genuinely, I think I would have to. He is in a committed relationship. He probably has a lot of trust issues after being like hated by everybody most of his life. But like, and I don't know how that'll manifest, right? So I'm going to have to say like 2.
The audacity is because of the monogamy, non-monogamy situation.
We don't know, right?
That's so true, though.
We don't know what kind of, setup they got going on here.
I'm gonna say 4. I think Roxanne, by the size of her ass, I think she'd be down for polyamory.
That's so true.
With how dummy thick Roxanne is.
Yeah, she got enough to go around, I'm sure.
Yeah, exactly. Parental acceptance.
No.
A blue man with a huge head who sounds like Will Ferrell, who wears leather, who was born in jail, is Go-Go Gadget, Gru from Despicable Me.
Yeah. I'd say my parents would be like, what the fuck?
I would say there would be a positive light here because he does win over the people. He does, at the end of the movie, he does win them over. He's
accomplished.
Yeah, people like him again.
If we were like in that city, right, functionally, I feel, you know what? Like if we were in a universe where like we were in the city being terrorized and then we see Megamind have a change of heart and like do all these good things, that would probably be like, oh, he's smart and he can change. Yeah. That's a correct. Yeah. Good point.
I'm gonna give this 5.5.
I'll echo that. You know what? I'll echo 5.5 here.
I'll do a 6, but that's because I'm biased since
of course,
I was 15 years old. Yeah.
All right then.
Well, alrighty, we got the math. We got the numbers.
Our Megamind to this.
Our mega milkers.
Mega
milkies. Okay.
Let's just get to the math. Let's just get to the math. So, Joe, read us out those scores.
Okay. For Megamind Cleric, you got a 3.9. I got a 5.4. And Amihan got a 4.8, which gives Megamind a very sizable 4.7 rather.
All right, I think that's fair. I think that's right where he deserves to be, right where he needs to be.
Yeah.
What does deserves to me? What the hell?
I mean, truthfully, I don't think like Megamind is in like the top, like in all of the monsters that you could fuck. I don't think like he is like a top contender, but I do think that that's a good score for him. I think it makes sense.
It makes sense for the megalomaniac Megamind. And now it's time for my choice. The obvious, not the obvious winner, but one that I think is a serious contender. And because like I said, we are, this is our first time talking about this topic and we're definitely going to return to it. I'm going to start us off pretty regular, pretty standard before I ramp it up to something worse. So for my first pick of our animated, the kind of villains kind of thing, I'm going to pick from a movie I love. Shout out 2001 to Lilo and Stitch, a movie altered by another event 2001. With my pick being the gargantuan Gantu.
Yeah.
In a vast galaxy filled with endless planets and life, a force formed in order to ensure peace throughout the known galaxies, becoming what we would know as the Galactic Armada. The Armada is the highest honor for those who wish to do their part for the galaxy. Rising quickly through the ranks to become a captain was a figure towering over his fellow captains at 20 feet tall, described to have the perfect body with the head of a shark and determined to serve. Gantu's life would forever change once he was assigned to capture one certain experiment, numbered 626. Man's a big boy. He's a big boy.
This is a good one.
The biggest boy,
This is a good one.
That was perfect, really.
He is a big, strong himbo. Well, he was a smart boy and then became a himbo.
He's pretty smart. Yeah.
So in the term of events of what happened is when he was assigned to capture Stitch, he was pretty well. He was an effective, he was a soldier through and through doing what he had to do. Mm-hmm. When he failed, he was kicked out of the Galactic Armada. He was kicked out. They didn't have his job, which he was then, for the TV show, was hired by evil Dr. Hamsterovich, which I think is his full name, to hunt down Gantu's other 600 experiments. There's a theory that's
Jumba?
Oh yeah, Jumba's, yeah. Jumba's experience. What happened was, what people believe, because people are like, why is he acting dumber in the series than he did on the TV show? He was more effective there. Was believed that once he got fired, he lost his purpose in life and he just didn't care anymore.
He went on a bender.
Basically, a little bit. So, because we have a little bit of his backstory. He's probably one of the more expansive villains we know because he's in a bunch of spin-off movies plus a TV show.
Yeah,
plus a whole bunch of stuff. So what we do know about Gantu's past was he was raised on by his father, who was very abusive apparently, and raised him to not have emotions and not have feelings.
God damn.
And he was like, you can't trust. He's literally his father told him not to trust anybody. You can't trust anybody. You have to only trust yourself. And so he grew up. He himself said I grew up without friends. I grew up without anybody to really like me. He had braces when he was 12 years old. Apparently, that's a big factor of his trauma.
Oh, I remember that.
Oh yeah.
And so he grew up very alone. And so he had a choice between once he was growing up, he had a choice between marrying probably the love of his life or joining the Galactic Armada, and he joined the Armada instead because his father had built his ambition to him. So he's like, I can't marry her because this is what I'm supposed to do.
Right.
So once he went through all that, he was very proud to be a captain. And once he lost that and got hired by an evil person, so technically he's a bounty hunter now. He's like, I don't care. I don't really like working with this guy. I'm still evil because I'm still technically hunting down these aliens against the illegally from the Galactic Armada. But I don't care about this dude. This dude fucking sucks. And so Gantu now just runs around Hawaii, capturing people and then having a little bit of fun. Apparently he likes surfing. He likes spas. His big disguise when he would
he was pretty fruity, huh?
He was a little bit.
Yeah.
One of his a funny thing is when he would get caught by the people being like, is this an alien? What's going on? Who's this guy? He's 20 foot tall, whale shark man. It was Lilo and he himself would say it, would be like, I'm actually Samoan. And everyone would believe him.
I remember that.
Oh my God.
That was his disguise. He was like, I'm Samoan. And everyone was like, that checks out.
So true. Holy shit.
That's fucking... I can't believe...
I completely forgot.
I forgot about that shit too. What?
Mm-hmm. That was just that was his disguise. He put on a Hawaiian shirt and some sunglasses and just said I was Samoan. And everyone on the island was like, that's 20 foot tall man, I believe.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
That all lines up with my pre-existing notions.
Man.
But what do y'all think of Gantu? What are you thinking about him right now?
Big love for it was honestly, he's the kind of villain that was you didn't root for him, but you were still invested in his journey, his process. I'm not going to feel bad about a cop, even a space cop. But he's a character that was built for you to pity him, which is inherently funny about a character who seems like he should be competent. But when you don't understand love or family, I don't know. If you prioritize your work over all those other elements, you're going to be a fucking idiot. You're going to be a little fool baby.
Yeah. Yeah, I I definitely see the appeal of just having like a big, strong alien, and I'm also sorry, my cat is begging for attention right now. But like, I mean, yeah, like Joe said, like throughout the show, it's like he didn't actually seem like a threat after the movie and over the course of the show. Like he's finding himself in Hawaii, and even I don't know. I think there's something very, very genuine and charming about that. Somebody like find like obviously like space cops, but like it's nice to see a level of growth happen in this way.
Yeah, he does end up growing. Like in the final movie, Leroy and Stitch, what ends up happening is Hamsterville fires him, and it's like because he's like, "Hey, this is going a little too far. You've made an army of psychopathic 6'2" Stitches. This seems like bad." And Hamsterville's like, "I don't need an incompetent loser like you." And God is like,
"I don't need a bitch.
You know what? Fuck you, Hamsterville. I'm going to go join Lilo and Stitch and beat the shit out of you." Because he also, again, he'd never liked Hamsterville. So there were some times where he messes up missions on purpose because he just, Larry's like, "Why did you find him?"
That's
like,
right.
"I don't know, dickhead. Why didn't I find him?"
That's crazy.
So he joins up with Lilo and Stitch at the end of the movie and fights off the giant Leroy army. And his reward for that is that he's reinstated into the Galactic Armada. They give him his job back.
Oh my God.
So he's like, "Hey, listen, you can have your job back." And he does. He's like, "I'll accept it." And he takes his friend 625, Ruben, as his first mate. He's like, as this guy was like, "I'm not leaving without my best friend," which is this sandwich eating lazy boy.
Oh yes, I love Ruben.
So there's a whole growth here. So if we're trying to discount to, first of all, another macro situation here, because he will treat you as a fleshlight, no joke.
Oh my fucking God.
Yeah, nah.
Man don't shrink. Unlike Eris, he don't shrink.
He's just a guy.
He's just a large whale penis having man.
The whale penis.
His body, he's on the wiki. This is not even a fucking joke. On the wiki, it is described
has his dick size?
No, it doesn't have his dick size. But his body is described as being perfect. He has the perfect body. That wasn't even a joke.
I mean, there it is.
Written in the words, in the script.
Maybe feel like there's
in the Bible.
There's the size kink is like the most obvious. I feel like there could be an element of once again there could be an element of breeding here. Perfect
breeding.
The perfect guy. The perfect.
But even then, he's somebody who he's a soldier. He's gonna take orders. So if you like to give orders, he's gonna take them. You know what I'm saying? So if you're like,
the most
I want you to pound me.
men end up on this show.
Yeah,
he's not. Yeah, he's not. It depends if you get him pre or post firing. Pre-firing, he is listening to orders. He's getting all down. He's going to be in command of the room. Post-firing, he'll probably be like, "Listen, just tell me what you want. I'll do it. I got you."
Oh, he's got like
a verse kind of moment here.
Yeah.
Okay.
And this is somebody, if I were to describe him, if we were to meet him in a bar or something like that, this is the guy who you see, you're at the bar, you're chilling, you're having a drink with a couple friends. You notice at the corner of your eye, somebody sitting at the bar in the corner who knows the bar. The bartenders know him because every time he finishes his beer, they go up and they just refill it without talking to him. So he's a regular there. And he's got a lot of scruff, but you can tell underneath he has this jaw.
He has a problem.
He's got a jaw, a very strong jawline, but with it he has a scruff on him that you can tell he hasn't shaved in a couple days. And there's a certain attraction to him because he's probably wearing a leather jacket. He's kind of sitting there. You're like, this man has a story. So you walk up to him, you talk to him. He's like, "Yeah,
tell me your story.
Tell me your story." And he's just like, "I'm a former police officer. I got fired because I was trying to do the right thing. Blah blah blah. Yeah. So now I'm a bounty hunter, but it's really not paying the bills."
The roller coaster of talking to this guy. Holy shit!
It's now I'm a bounty hunter, and it's tough work, but I'm trying.
Yeah, I kill people, whatever.
But I found somebody. I'm on the middle of a job, and you're like, okay. So it's this guy who's you go to his apartment. It's a crusty apartment. You could tell it used to be nice, but he has he has
Jesus Christ.
He has fucking takeout Chinese food on the floor. You're like, okay, man, this man has not fucking moved in a couple days. This man does not clean this place. He gets up, eats something off the floor, and then moves to his next job.
Something off the floor.
But sometimes
I can't believe you're just describing me.
if it's you, then that's something y'all gotta assess in your own lives here. That's kind of Gantu's vibe. And then like he gets back, he gets a better job, maybe a security job. And he's like, I'm back. Like, and then you see him slowly start cleaning things up. Like
he becomes a community mentor.
Exactly. Yeah. You're just like, okay, man, I appreciate it. Like, this is good. Like, I saw you from your rock bottom and I see you back up. And now, and I know like the sex is going to be greater. So that's who Gantu, I think, is and encapsulates that.
Mm-hmm.
How do y'all feel about that little scenario there? Any adds, any takes away?
Yeah, like the only thought that I had was that like I like characters that change, but like he wants to do better for himself, and whatever that looks like, you know, he's obviously gonna choose his own direction. And now I like that he knows what he wants.
Definitely. I feel like no matter which stage of life we're getting Gantu at, we're definitely getting someone who's very decisive. Some of it might be very misled. He seems young, but that's not what I mean. He just seems like someone that has a very idealistic sense of what the systems around him are as a person of potential privilege. That him steadily being radicalized and realizing that, hey, everything you know is wrong would very understandably make you a regular at a bar or something where we would see this now haggard, scruffy, like DILF whale man shark figure at a bar that just draws you to him. Like, what's your story, man? You kill people? Got it. That tracks.
Yeah.
And I think with all the information that we have now, for the final time this episode, do we want to drive into the Pablo scale?
Yeah.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
So
what's the news?
Possibility. I don't know if this is. I don't know how possible this is.
He's in a cave that's like hidden away in a ship or something.
He's crash landed on Hawaii. He has to be like, he's trapped there a little bit because of his job, because of how much like all the aliens have spread exclusively on Hawaii.
Right.
And when he's not there, he's rehired, he's an international or intergalactic space captain.
Right. So I don't know.
If you live on Hawaii, are able to find a random cave, and it's also all in this one town, to be honest.
Right.
They don't really spread out past the town, but they're there. So even there's one town in Hawaii, that's a lot of rarities. There's only one Gantu. I think this is a 3 to a 2. I'll do a 2.5. I don't think it's that possible.
I'm going to say 3 because you definitely should not move to Hawaii.
Yeah. Just stop that.
Yeah, don't do that. I think I would also do, well, personally, I would put it at a 2 for all the same reasons y'all listed.
All right. Attractiveness. How attractive is our 20-foot tall whale shark baby?
It is an 8 for me.
I would also put it at 8. Like, I don't particularly have a type, but I do think that big buff DILF is very attractive.
There's something
to me.
there.
Yeah.
There is something there.
There's a story in that egg, and I'm gonna crack it.
We'll do 8s across the board here because I think I like the macro of it. I like the strongness. I like his look, and for him having the perfect body, man's got to be cut. So,
sorry, I didn't. I was like, circumcised? What are you talking
about? No.
At first, I was like, no.
That's not what that means.
I could just tell he's circumcised. I know. I realize now.
I can tell he no longer has his foreskin. He's too smooth for that.
But if he I think when he like goes on that bender, he lets himself go, quote, so to speak, quote unquote, or just is fucking taking care of himself, and he gets a little thicker. Not a problem. Absolutely not a problem. Better.
Yeah, dad bod.
Audacity. How audacious it is to be with Gantu. Pretty audacious.
Mm-hmm.
Like, not in terms of like literal chaos goddess showing up because she just could, but like this person could just could just kill you just because. Like, there's no precedent.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what did I say? 3 to 4. Why did I give Megamind more audacity than Eris? That's really funny for me. I'm thinking on it.
I'm gonna go with 4. I think a 4 is fair here.
Yeah, maybe a 4.5. I think given
4.
that he's like a galactic space,
Bounty hunter, ex cop.
Yeah, it's
kind of wild.
Yeah, you're gonna have to like do some stuff in order to get there, in order to get to where he is. So meet him where he's at in his life. Yeah. Also, he's big.
Also, he's big.
I just think genuinely, I'm like, well, we gonna have to make something fit. I mean, so
circumcised or not,
someone's gonna move.
Parental acceptance. How are we feeling about the whale shark man, ex-cop, space cowboy man, 20 feet tall in your house?
My parents, I think if they take his occupation into account, would approve. I guess would be leaning more towards it.
You're so right.
I think I'll take a 4 for this. Again, I'll do it another 4. Cause I think the whale shark 20 foot tall would be the no, but the job application would be like, okay, so space cop. All right.
I think both of those spectrums gives Gantu a 7 for parental acceptance.
Okay. That's a choice for you.
Sure is.
I'm gonna give Gantu a 6. Cause for parental acceptance, again, like I think the occupation and like I don't know, I feel like my parents would be like, okay, he could keep you safe.
Right. You know, exactly.
Provide.
That's such a huge, annoying thing. We got it. We got the scores. We got the numbers. Let's head on over to that math that we are totally doing and not automating.
So, with this math that we totally do on our own, not automated at all, Joe, read out the scores for the final time.
Cleric, for Gantu, we got a 4.6. Me, for Gantu, a 5.5. And for Amihan, a 5.1, which gives Gantu a 5.1. Not loser this time, Cleric.
Not a loser.
Congratulations.
I never lose. Remember that.
Mm-hmm.
I've never lost a day in my life.
I'll go ahead and go through our winners, secondaries, and technical loser. Although just because it's Amihan, it's not a loser. Just honorary mention, honorable mention.
Some bullshit.
Our loser for today, in all technicality, is Amihan with Megamind at a 4.7. Cleric's Gantu at a 5.1 and Eris with a 7.9.
Okay. Yeah.
Chaos Goddess, who can turn into anything.
She
has lots of pets.
Absolutely.
She's one of our top boys. She's in the top. She's probably the top 10 right now. Or
she's
top
one
5.
of our top boys.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
top boy.
I think she's in the top 5 because the top 5 right now is Crystal Dragon, Goomba, Selkie, Goomba, Selkie. I think Optimus Prime is there, and then
so true.
Optimus Prime, probably.
So true. Optimus Prime.
and then I think Eris sneaks out into the top. I think that's the top 5 at the moment.
Amazing, Eris.
Incredible.
She's done it.
She's done it again.
She's done it again. So, anyways, this has been a fun episode to record. This has been a lot enjoyable. Amihan, thank you for joining us today.
Yeah, thank you for having me. Honestly, it's my birthday in a few days. It's a great gift to me to be able to talk about Megamind. Thank you for letting me talk about Megamind.
Yes,
You're
of
welcome.
course.
So, is there anything you want to shout out? Anything you want to let the people know where they can find you in future things?
Absolutely. You can find me at The Rose Cleric on any form of social media. Currently, I am the producer, editor, co-artist, wearer of many hats for a podcast known as Capricious Provenance. It is a 5e podcast that is about 4 friends finding themselves at the center of an apocalyptic conspiracy. They become friends. They're all kind of gay, and they're all definitely trans. And so, definitely check out that podcast. We have a lot of cool things coming up. And you can find my art on social media. I do art. I draw things. Yeah.
All right. Joe, any closing thoughts?
What was the Michelle Pfeiffer in the Batman as the Catwoman? Hello, Mr. Kitty. I'm feeling good. That's what Michelle Pfeiffer said.
I'm feeling pretty good.
Hello, Mr. Kitty. I'm feeling good.
All right, that's it. I ain't doing all that.
That's it.
I ain't doing all that. You know what? That's it. That's the end. All right, everybody.
Signing off.
Bye.
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 Don't forget me by my name, even if it's all a game. Your words will remain when you said that I was your ambition. I don't know reality or fiction, no. Oh, oh. Oh, oh. Oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no.
I apologize to all our femme presenting listeners for that bit there.
You should.